How you doing today, folks? Today I wanted to talk to you about the value of regular maintenance for your gardens. And I came out to this house today and I told my client that I was going to do the spring maintenance, which a spring maintenance entails re-edging the beds. So I can't really see the camera. Re-edging the beds, weeding the beds, and then we would go ahead and turn the mulch. And then I'll also do a light pruning on shrubs. This isn't like a major pruning, but just if anything, has some dead branches or branches going the wrong way, that's what I do in the spring maintenance. There were some suckers on this Okami cherry over here, prune those off. And then we go ahead and remulch the gardens, just a light top dressing. So I came out today to do the work, and you're seeing a beautiful sunny day, but up until about 20 minutes ago, I hadn't seen the sun in about 4 days. Anyways, I came out to do the work, and it was just a pleasure to work in the gardens. There weren't a ton of weeds. The plants weren't ridiculously out of control. It was just really nice to be working in the gardens. And I will admit that this landscape is only maybe 3 years old, so that's probably got something to do with it. But the other thing is this client has me come back. Usually every month or two I'll come back and spend, right now the garden's still young. Maybe I'll be here for a couple hours, 3 hours at the most, through the season, and I'll weed the gardens and do some pruning. And it's just enough to kind of keep up with it and keep the gardens from not getting away from me. If you're curious, this rhododendron back here, which is, let's see if we can get one in the sun, that is called PJM Elite. PJM Elite, and they went in like a 5-gallon. They seem like they stay a little bit bushier, but let me just show you. So I pruned these last year with my hand pruners. So you see here where we've got the flowers, wherever I pruned with my hand pruners, see, I pruned later in the season, so you see how there's a branch there where I pruned and there's no new flowers because rhododendrons flower on last year's growth. So just don't go crazy. Never prune rhododendrons with hedge clippers, and if you're going to use hand clippers, I usually just very sparingly nip them here and there to keep their shape. So I forget where I was, but these gardens have been maintained regularly, and it just was such a pleasure to work in them. And I was, I think about the jobs I do or I've done in the past where you put a new landscape in and your client doesn't touch it, there's no mulch put down, there's no pruning, there's nothing for like 3 years, and you get a call back and the landscape is just overgrown and just a pain to work in. And I think of many examples of that. And just at this stage in my career, I look back and I'm just like, was it worth even maintaining? If people don't want a nice landscape from the start, I get we all, things happen and landscapes get away from us. But if we don't want a nice landscape, people don't want a nice landscape from the start. And again, maybe I'm not being a business person. The idea of a landscaping company is to install landscapes and make money, and however you do it. But to me, there's more to it. But I just think about the times that I had one job I did for some folks that the install took us maybe 2 or 3 weeks with 3 guys, and I didn't go back there for a few years, and they would call me like every 2 years to maintain it, and it just was a disaster, for lack of a better term. And I kind of wish I had said in the beginning, well, maybe it would be better if we make the garden smaller so you have the budget left over to maintain it, as opposed to go with a really big garden. I don't know. But the thing I just wanted to kind of say today is, if you can, whether you're a landscape contractor and have a new install, if you can, have your client have you come back once in a while to maintain the gardens, I think it's good for the contractor and it's good for the client. I think a lot of short visits is going to be more reasonable than one big visit. But if you're a homeowner, just try to keep up with this stuff. It seems like it's a never-ending battle in my yard. I know we're all working jobs, and You know, I don't know, the 40-hour work week seems to be a thing of the past. It seems like people are working more and more hours, but if you can find the time, regular maintenance is going to really make a difference. So that was just my little tangent today. It just was such a pleasure, and I will admit this is the first landscape I got out to work in. You know, maybe it's that euphoria of being out doing what I love, but try to keep up with it. And if you have someone install a landscape for you, see if you can get them to come back every month or 2 months and do a little weeding, a little pruning. And if it's your own landscape, you know, try to find time to maintain it. And again, I know it's hard. I know my yard I'm never caught up with, but you try to fight the good fight. All right, folks, we will see you soon. Take care.